Okay, guys, so, I already did this once, but since I can edit just fine, but I don't like editing because I just want it to be all me and all that stuff. So, sort of in the last one I messed up, so we're gonna do this again. So, um, since I didn't have any, responses or comments about what to do today, I asked my kids, and hopefully I say what I did on the other one, but we'll see how this goes. Um, and so I asked my kids what I should talk about, and they had some really weird ideas. But my oldest, she said hobbies for one, and then the other one was your my kids, and their word personalities. And she's like, so I'm going with that one today, again. um, so I've got 3 kids. My oldest one, Kat, David, and Addison, or Addie, and 17, 13, and 11. She'll be 12 at the end of November. So, so each one of them is really different. Like any parent knows, not one kid is exactly alike. Even twins, for goodness sakes, can be completely different. So except my 2 girls, they look a lot alike. My youngest one looks a lot alike what my oldest one did when she was the same age. So it was like even baby pictures. The only thing is like their hair parts in a different way. And Addison's hair is like straight, while Catherine has this like crazy wave that goes on, which is kind of like from my mom's hair. My mom had super wavy hair, which drives my daughter nuts. She's actually in there straightening her hair right now for work. All right, so let's start with my youngest one, Addie. She is such a, she's my hellion. She is the freaking rambunctious one. Like when she started going to school, I was afraid she would be able to leave. And she really isn't. So she actually does the violin, and we went to a violin recital, and one of her teachers, I guess not the violin orchestra teacher, but her reading teacher came up and started talking to me, and she's like, she is so sweet, she's so soft-hearted and helpful and da-da-da-da, which I'm just like, wait, that was my Addison, and I'm just like, really? And she's like, yes, and she's like, and I'm like, that's great, I'm glad, and she's like, I'm just worried that she's so soft-hearted that she's gonna get crushed one day when someone, like stomps on her. And I'm just like, no, that girl of mine, Addison. Okay, so Addison is the one that will kick your, she gets you. She's a hellion. She is my fireball. She picks on her brother and her sister. I mean, she won't take crap from nobody. I mean, she's very sweet, which is awesome. I love that. I've always, like with my kids, I'd rather me have to discipline and, tell them, when they get in trouble at home, rather than being out in public and stuff, making people think that I'm a bad parent. Especially nowadays with barely touch your child and you're like an abuser. Trust me, I came from a family that you would get your ass black and blue. So yeah, she is just, oh wow, she is definitely, she takes after me in the sense of temper. When I was younger, I definitely had a temper. Like, you did not mess with me. Like, I can have one now, but you have to get, like, it has to get to a point. Like, I've learned to control and be more zen and stuff like that. But when I was younger, man, okay, so I have 3 older brothers and a younger sister, but my one right above me, David, which is like my son's name too, but anyways, I was watching TV, I was watching my show, and he comes up and changes the channel. So what do? What's a normal, rational response to that? Well, we had a fireplace. Old school fireplace. I mean, we lived on a farm, so old school, like the door open, shove the wood in, all that stuff, not the open, all that stuff. So there's bricks underneath this, like loose bricks. So what's the rational thing to do? Pick up a brick and go after my brother. Yeah. So yes, that's where she gets that from. And then David, my son. Okay, so surrounded by 3 women. Well, I'm a woman. Kat's pretty much a woman, and Addie, she's a girl. Anyways, so she don't really act. She's a tomboy. Yeah, she doesn't really act girly at all. So that's good. But so my son, he is a sweetheart. He really is just this cute little mama's boy. I mean, I just love him to death. And I mean, I love all my kids to death, but he's just like super sweet. And I mean, he's a Cancer too, which just totally makes him a more emotional person. But for him, like, he always gives me a hug every day, at least one. Usually it ends up being like 10, which is awesome. You know, every morning he says goodbye to me when he goes to school. When he comes home, he gives me a hug, and when he's nasty, and I'm just like, get away from me, you're sweaty, because he walks home from school and sweaty. So, so what's funny with him is, so he's my gamer. Well, one of them. I mean, they all play games, but he's really into it. And like I was talking about yesterday, and so he loves gaming and YouTube. He even has a YouTube channel of his own where he does funny things. Toadette, I think. I don't remember the full thing, so he's gonna kill me now that I don't say it correctly. So, but he is super funny. But he's like, okay, so my ex was in football and sports and all of that stuff, and so my son, he's like taller than me and like built like a freaking tank, you know. And my ex, he really wants him to be in sports, and my son just does not want anything to do with sports. I mean, it's funny, but not funny, but I think it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, so yeah, anyways, I'm not trying to be mean, but I just think it's funny because my ex is just like, and yeah, and I understand, dude, he's built like a freaking tank, dude. I can barely move him, and I'm solid, you know, and he's, like, solid. So, yeah. Okay, so now with Kat, my lovely daughter, my lovely oldest daughter, 17, almost 18. Oh my God, yeah, speaking of that, almost 18, what the hell? I'm about to have an adult. I don't feel like I'm old enough to have an adult. I am still saying I'm 20. Oh no, we're gonna have to probably age that up just a little bit because I'm almost 40. But I don't feel like I'm 40. I'm saying late 20s. That's how I feel. I'm gonna, okay, hold on a second. My son's texting me right now, and I have to reply to him. He wants to go to his friend's house. Okay, so, anyways, so he, for her, crap, I just totally lost my train of thought because of that text message. Crayola, what was I talking about? I don't know. So my daughter's getting ready for work right now, and I probably just skipped a whole thing. I was thinking about it, and now I just totally went the wrong way. I don't know. It's gone. So I wish I could rewind it and see what I was talking about. Can I pause this? Maybe, let's see. What is this? Is that pause? No, it's not pause. Okay, so anyways, so my oldest, she is, oh, that's right, an adult. She's almost adult. I'm not old enough to have an adult yet. I don't feel like I'm old enough to have an adult yet, so we're just gonna step around that subject. Anyway, so she's right now getting ready for work. She homeschools the other two. They just got out of school, but they're going to their friends and clubs and all that stuff. So, but she's almost 18, crazy. So she's getting ready for work right now. And, okay, so we're gonna go in and see if she's still listening to it. But she listens to oldies.
I'm going to my friend's Wesley's. I'm going to Wesley's right now.
Well, I'm telling you
Oh,
something. Come here.
Well, that's is that the?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no, look at the bread! They're running away. So she's talking to my son, but she listens to oldies. Like, this is okay, so I want to show you some of her trippy art. Very psychedelic. Looks like she's done shrooms or shit, so. Oh, look, she's staring at me, gonna give me the death glare.
Yeah.
That's up away! See, I know better, because if I were to film her like I did my son, walking away, she would murder me in my sleep. I would be dead. So, yeah. I gotta go back out here. Oh, look, I bet my son is gonna be right over there. There he is. See, there's one of them, the one in the red shirt. Hi, son. Hi, baby. Okay, so, see, you guys got to see a little bit. My younger one, she's at her club thing. So the other one, David's going with his friend, and then Kat, she's getting ready for work, which I'm gonna have to take her pretty soon to work, because, yeah, well, yeah. Anyways, so I love her because she's listening to oldies, which you kind of heard a little bit, and you've seen her art, which is amazing. She does kind of trippy art, and like her grandparents, my ex-in-laws, they said that it looked like stuff like she was on acid and stuff like that, which is crazy. I mean, I don't know if you saw it, I went pretty quick, but she even did a Bob Ross one with like trippy stuff added to it, you know? And so, if you slow down later and maybe look at it, but I love her art, and she's just very eclectic of what she does. But her music, what I was saying, is the oldies and stuff like that. I love it, love it, love it, because me and my mom used to listen to oldies too. Like my mom, I was raised on all of that stuff. Oldies music and old movies, like musical movies, and you know, like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which my kids have seen too, because I am carrying on the tradition of sharing that. And several other ones, even Marilyn Monroe ones, all of that crazy stuff. So with her, she's crazy, funny. She's very strong and independent. I mean, with all my kids, I really like them to have their own independence. I want them to learn. I know it's kind of crazy, but I want them to be who they're supposed to be. I'm not forcing them to do anything like with my son and saying like football and stuff like that. I don't want to force them to do anything that they don't want to do. I want them to be happy with what they're doing in their lives. I mean, like right now, she's working at Walmart. She doesn't like it very much, but she does like getting paid. And so she does her job and likes doing that, you know. She does help me with stuff, because without working and stuff like that, it's kind of crazy. And so she's just an amazing, amazing girl. She, on the other hand, she's not the vicious one like Addie is. She's not like the hellion, but she's one that you don't want to freaking mess with either. I mean, I don't know about David. I mean, he seems so soft. He's one that's really soft-hearted. But my girls, on the other hand, they're fierce. Like, one time someone was picking on her younger, I think it was David. Someone was picking on David, or picking on Addie, or one of them. And Kat was running out the door to freaking go defend and like take on these kids, you know. She just stands up for them. I mean, they give each other crap all the time, you know, but they always have each other's back, which I love. But her listening to the oldies, okay, she listens to music that I don't like a lot, you know, that's rap and all that crap that I really don't care for, but she does listen to this music, which I love. But then she does shit, like sending me a song, like from the 60s, and then like, hey, have you heard this? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that. And of course, what does she say? You're old. And I'm like, shut up. I mean, I'm not from the 80s. I'm from the 80s. I was born in 80, okay? Not 60s. But I did listen to it, so I do know these songs. And like Frank Sinatra, all of that shit's from before my time. And so, yeah. So that's her. And then also I wanted to say, thanks so much, Johnny, because I commented about the scooter thing. My kids used to call me Crackline, okay? Or Naked Mole Rat. My oldest Kat, she has my picture in her phone book as a naked mole rat, because I am palish pink or pale white. David came up with Crackline. Kat came up with Naked Mole Rat. And so now, David watched my YouTube video of me explaining Scooter, and now I've become Scooter to my children. Awesome. Thanks for that, Johnny. Totally appreciate it. So, Um, so that's that. And then the other thing I was gonna say, so all my kids date, you know. David has his girlfriend, which he had one for a little bit, but I didn't really care for her, and she was not very nice to my son, and she had conditions. This new one, really cute, and like one time I walked in while they were talking on the phone, or they were on FaceTime, and I was like, hey, let me see, and he's like, no, Mom, and he's all like trying to cover it up and everything, so of course I had to get in and be like, hey, how are you? And he's like, ah, and the girl's like, he's so funny, he's so weird. I'm like, I know, he's my son. And then Kat has a boyfriend. Okay, boyfriend. She has a boyfriend. We're gonna stick with that because last time I said girlfriend, so stupid. So she has a boyfriend, and so they always make fun of me because I'm little Miss Single Pringle, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be the one over here that's not gonna get a date. But they give me crap all the time, which I love them, but I do the same thing with them. So hopefully today, I mean, it wasn't any weird topic or anything. It's just more about me, my kids, and me, and I guess stuff. But a little bit craziness, weirdness that we go on. May have to do like to where it's around when my kids are around because they say some really weird stuff. Yeah, they're weird. Kind of like me. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't mind, if you could leave a comment, topic, discussions, anything in the comment section, I would totally appreciate it. And don't forget to share, so that way if anybody else you know want to watch it and give any comments or discussion or topics, that would be great. And don't forget to hit the subscribe. I don't know which side it is. One of the sides. Hit the subscribe button. And so that way you can watch. And oh crap, yeah, so today's day 7, so we have 23 days left of my 30 days of vlogging. Thank you guys so much for following. I totally appreciate it. It's gonna be even more crazy. I'm gonna come up with some craziness and keep going until I run out. All right guys, thanks so much. Bye.